back in. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. We want back ins. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in just in an absolute freefall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
On second down, here's Penny. Finding some room at midfield. And he gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 108 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Penny, a first down carry. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. This is how the defense will look for San Francisco. And they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group. Though they do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. Now Rashad Penny down to about the 22 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They go read option with Wilson. He may try and run for this. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now Wilson on second down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting has taken over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Detroit! Detroit!
On the ground they go with the running back. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the...
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jaron Reed busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll try and throw for it with Lynch. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening...
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. From midfield now, here's Wilson. What a catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is going to be 49er football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Frank Clark in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Play action. It's Lynch. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence. that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A handoff to Penny. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Leaves it for Penny. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
On third down, Lynch. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Back to the air, Lynch after the pick six. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on first. On second down, here's Lynch. And he whips that one incomplete there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing again here, Lynch. He completes it to Bryant. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. In for the score. And the 49ers are back within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Lynch. Now he's going to throw it back deep. Oh, and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So we are at halftime here in down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Paxton Lynch now, he gets set and heads back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Now they try the right side here. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Earl Thomas in on the stop. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 3rd down. Lynch. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Play action. Now Lynch. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They go play action now. Lynch. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, Lynch. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They go play action with Lynch. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Lynch. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Carson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit at 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's complete to Croft. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Lynch. Forced out to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Gone! Detroit!
On second down, Lynch. And that is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Lynch looking to throw on second. And his throw is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Off-play action. Lynch. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Lynch. That's complete. Right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just...
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it again with Penny. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Here's a give to Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They go back to the ground now with Penny. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Again, it's Penny. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, now, lock it 56. Lock it.
On 1st down, it's Lynch. Incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. 2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Lynch now, work to do, certainly, after that sack. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. Going deep here for Bryant. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Keep playing hard. Cut. 280. Cut.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lynch out of time, and he's going to go down to the end zone. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
Elsewhere, a 4th quarter score now from Tampa. And the Bears have scored again. They've got that one on cruise control. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. And out now come the Seahawks. Getting down to the end here, they have a two-score lead. Barely, but it's a two-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They run it with Carson. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Wilson. He's got Lockett. The 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. To throw on 2nd down. Lynch. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Lynch on 1st down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. One last shot for Lynch. Oh, it stays, and the pressure gets to him again. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Seahawks, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here